why am I still holding the Prime utility token? And of course, I'm talking about Echelon Prime, even though nothing I say is financial advice. Well, first of all, it's because when it comes to the idea of maybe $100, when it comes to Prime, it hasn't left my mind. Because, for instance, $100 is around a 50x from here. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen, right? But then at the same time, why wouldn't this surprise me if, let's say, it did during a moment where there is a fully fledged type of altcoin season? It's because market cap at that point, considering current circulating supply, would be nearly 3.6 billion. Now, some people may be thinking, like, what do you mean by that? Like, why wouldn't that surprise you? It's because we have to consider this market cap, I think, maybe in the grand scheme of things, doesn't seem like too outlandish. I mean, many people out there are thinking that some meme coins out there are going to reach like in the tens of billions of market cap. And even if we take a look at something like Dogecoin, that reached over $80 billion in market cap back in 2021. And that was years ago. This is kind of like, over 20 times less than that, which is kind of crazy to think about. And again, in the peak of the 2021 bull run, around 300 million crypto owners. Now, there's over 600 million, supposedly more than ever before in history. I get it. I think arguably we haven't seen a fully fledged type of altcoin season yet during this cycle, at least at the time I'm making this video. But then if we do see it with just that many crypto owners, or should I say that many new, right, crypto owners, it wouldn't surprise me if the bull run, let's say for the altcoin season, looked better than last time. Arguably, this is just my perspective, but only time will tell. And also on top of that, what I like about something like, for instance, Echelon Prime is that it has a very heavy emphasis towards blockchain gaming. Now, when we take a look at blockchain gaming, some people like to say, who cares about that? A lot of blockchain games out there are not good. Arguably, some people like to say, that, oh, it's not really there yet when it comes to kind of the level of, I would say, established nature of it in terms of kind of having these games that are already well polished and whatnot. It doesn't feel like that to me yet because a lot of the games typically kind of not fun to play, graphics are not that good, tokenomics when I see some games out there are completely just not something I'm a fan of. So there's still a lot to do, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to believe in a market sector like that because, for instance, if we take a look at just kind of, let's say if blockchain gaming really does take off, would it make sense for me to believe in it later once they kind of already fix all that type of stuff? Or believe in it before? For me, I want to believe in a market before it kind of does that. This is just my mentality, right? So when I take a look at, sure, when it comes to blockchain gaming necessarily, I don't think it's the best overall right now, but it doesn't mean that it won't be different moving forward. So this is my mentality. And if we take a look at the blockchain gaming market, for instance, according to Grandview Research, it is predicted to reach over $300 billion by 2030. And again, that's pretty massive. Like, again, if that kind of projection by Grandview Research hypothetically becomes true by 2030, that over 300 billion market size valuation, I would say, that's very impressive. However, only time will tell. And also, I think that when it comes to Echelon Prime, some people like to say, okay, who cares about that? Well, Echelon is a platform that enables games to leverage blockchain features. And arguably, I get it, Echelon may still have a ways to go, but I still like it nonetheless, and I like its positioning because when it comes to blockchain gaming, again, it's not doing the best as of right now. But in terms of, again, Echelon, I think it has a good community. I think that the exchange listings when it comes to Prime is pretty good. And I think the community overall is very passionate, and I like the fundamentals. So overall, I'm still a fan, and maybe the idea of $100 wouldn't surprise me, but some people may be wondering, okay, how soon? Typically, altcoins usually as a worst case scenario, they usually peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. Now, I just want to preface that this is not a guarantee or anything like that. This is just based off history. Who knows if it's going to be the same this time around. But if we add 18 months on top of the last Bitcoin halving event that happened in April of 2024, that would actually mean October this year. Again, does it mean it's going to happen at that time? I think not necessarily, if it ever even does. Like maybe it could happen in November, December, or even Q1 of next year. I mean, only time will tell. Each cycle is going to be different in my opinion, but regardless of the timeline, I'm just going to stay patient because that's the only thing that's within my control. I'm going to be holding, waiting. That's it. If I pulled up a price chart, drew some random triangle, what would that do? Some people want me to do that, but again, how would that change anything? Like, do you think the market's going to pay attention to that? I see some people out there, all they do is take a look at the price chart. And again, I get it. Different styles, maybe different ways of kind of taking a look at a project. But to me, if I'm only just taking a look at the price chart, how would I know kind of sort of the fundamentals of Echelon, right? Then I'd just be basing it off the price. Not to mention, if I see some people out there and they kind of like, draw a triangle on the price chart, a falling wedge pattern or something like that, and then, they say this is going to happen at this time. It doesn't, and they just keep adjusting the triangle. Now, at that point, I'm just drawing. Like, I don't want to be just doing that, right? I mean, I want to look at the fundamentals and stuff like that. So, again, just drawing on a price chart, that's not my style, but ultimately, I'm a fan of Echelon Prime, and I'm still holding. And that's about it, really. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Greatly appreciate it. It's Willie the Captain. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.